you ever feel like your body is always under everyday stress? When your system stays in constant overdrive, it can throw off the way you digest, rest, and think. That's because your body's communication line, the vagus nerve, helps regulate balance between your brain, gut, and immune system. When that connection is strained, it can affect your sense of calm, energy, and overall well-being. That's where pHix comes in. Formulated with our unique matured hop extract, pHix is designed to support healthy vagus nerve activity, helping your body shift from fight or flight to a more relaxed, balanced state. By promoting this natural balance, pHix helps support digestive comfort, mental clarity, relaxation, and metabolic health, so you can feel centered, focused, and at ease. pHix provides targeted support to help your body reset and restore.
Well, good evening, everybody. It's Chris here from the Whistle Stop Cafe in Mirror, Alberta. I'm sorry for being late tonight. I had another event in Ponoka, and I ended up getting kind of stuck there for a little bit. But here we are, 20 minutes late, so I guess that's not even a record for me. But yeah, again, apologies for making you all wait. So, as promised, I have invited Alison back to talk a little bit more about pHix and another product that is available as well. And unlike last week, I have some updates for you as to my experience with this and what I've found. So I thought that would be pretty cool to talk about, because a lot of you were asking me, if I tried this pHix product and what does it do and that type of thing. So now I've got a little bit of use of it, and I have some interesting things to report. So in the interest of Alison's time, and she's a couple hours ahead of us, trying to get her to bed at a reasonable hour, I'm going to bring her on right away, and we'll just get right to it. So welcome, Alison. Thanks for interrupting your bedtime routine to join us again.
It's all good. It's all for the love of trying to help people to feel better. That's all. That's what we're here for.
There you go. Yeah. So last week we spent a lot of time talking about pHix, which is a matured hop extract, and it does something it triggers something in your body so that your body does the things it's supposed to naturally do. And this all centers around the vagus nerve, which I've I put a picture of a little neuron in the thumbnail for this. And I don't know if you saw it, but I did my own research, and I wrote my own article about this type of mechanism, and it kind of confirmed what the white paper from MPG said. It basically echoed it, which was really cool. And I did that because we've learned in the last few years that oftentimes when somebody who manufactures something is telling us that it's good for us and safe and effective, and charging us money to use it, that might not always be true. So it's in the interest of prudence, we should be looking into it ourselves. And that's what I did. And it was really cool. Folks, you can find that on the website, whistlestoptruckstop.ca/blog. Scroll down to a picture of a pink neuron, and you can read all about it. So, Alison, last week we were talking about this product that I've now started trying. And do you want to quickly give a snapshot of what it is, what it does, before I get into talking about my results?
Well, I'm just excited to hear your results. They all heard me talk last week. I want to hear what it did for you.
You want to get right into that? We can, sure.
Yeah, no, seriously though, like it's interesting when people, like, if you were to have, like, I just hopped off a call a little bit ago with a bunch of other people sharing testimonials on this product, and it's interesting because it's a broad spectrum of testimonials. It's not just a one size fits all, and this is what everybody's going to experience. There's so many different stories. And not only that, like I always want to point out now too, like my horses and my dogs and people who have cats and birds, it's literally that epic of a product where it doesn't matter who or what or where, if you have a heartbeat, this is a product that could literally do something for you. And it's not a matter of if it's going to work, it's a matter of when. So what even is it? So we call the product pHix. It's with the company called Marketplace Global. It's funny, Chris, because a lot of people think, oh, I thought the company was called pHix. No, the company is called Marketplace Global. And this particular product comes from the hops plant. And it's an extraction of the hops plant that is a patent pending extraction. You can't figure it out. I can't figure it out. I don't care what many years of herbalism or whatever you have. It's a really difficult process. But we were able to pull out 3 bitter acids. So that's why it's called the MHE3, Matured Hops Extract 3. And these 3 bitter acids, the beta, the alpha, and the gamma, when you put them in any beverage, so you can get it in this little dropper form here, or you can get it in the snaps. And the snaps, you just squeeze down and squeeze, and you put it right down in your drink, and you drink it away. But it's colorless, it's flavorless, and odorless. And I will tell you, yes, I thought it was snake oil because of the fact it had no taste. Like, what herbal tincture has no flavor? But when I started utilizing this product, I will tell you, it was just like across the board that people were sleeping better. They had more focus. They had more energy. They were able to get rid of the brain fog and the digestion. Like, that is huge for a lot of people that were chronically constipated are no longer having that issue, or people who are on the other spectrum are running to the bathroom all the time, don't have that issue. And then there was no way you can put a price tag on just feeling good. So often people are saying, I got my wife back, I got my husband back, I got my child back, my grandma, my grandpa, I got my horse back, my dog back. I mean, there's so many different stories. And the reason is because this particular product has been shown clinically to go after visceral fat. Visceral fat is responsible for over 200 different illnesses. And we're talking pretty significant illnesses. And this isn't about weight loss. Have people lost weight on it? Yes, because their bodies were out of balance. But when you get to the root cause of what causes illness, which, if you're not aware, a real quick image of how the human body works, all disease comes from inflammation. Inflammation comes from toxins, and the visceral fat stores those toxins. And so when I saw this, I got excited because it was root cause healing. And then the second component of this is that it activates the vagus nerve. The vagus nerve is the largest cranial nerve in the body that attaches itself from the top of the brain all the way down to the digestive system, better known as the gut-brain axis. But it is the vagus nerve. And the vagus nerve literally is responsible for supporting and activating all 1,100 systems in the body. And one of the biggest ones we like to talk about is the parasympathetic nervous system, because when you're in the parasitic state, you're in this rest and digest, and you're out of that fright and flight. I'm sure Chris is in fright and flight all the time, doing all the things he's doing all the time for the country. But if your body's not able to go into that rest and digest, you get stuck in that. And then that's where a lot of people have issues with their health. And so most times when people go on there, it's like, I feel calm, I feel relaxed, I stay focused, I do the things. And so in a nutshell, this product is definitely different than all of the Me Too products you see out there on the shelves. I don't care about the vitamins, the protein shakes, the energy drinks, the collagens, all of the things. There's so many of them. There's only one matured hops extract. Yes, you can run to Amazon and find hops all day long, but this is not the hops extract. If you take the hops extract, you're just going to feel sleepy. So I'm telling you, just don't go buy hops. You're going to be like, I'm going to go buy my own hops. No. And then I have people tell me they're going to grow their own hops and pull their own extraction. I'm like, literally, this is what separates us. So yeah, that's the nutshell of how this works.
So full disclosure, when my friend George, he introduced this to me, and he mentioned the business side of it as well. And just like every other time I've heard anything like this, I immediately discounted it because of the business structure. And I also thought, oh, of course, big claims, always the big claims, and snake oil, right? But I was on a Zoom call with George and one of my doctor friends who I have a ton of respect for, who put it all on the line to stand up for health during the period of 2020 to 2024. We all know what that period was. And I watched him talking about this and explaining that, yes, this mechanism is real. There's research around it. There's peer-reviewed studies. There's clinical trials, the whole 9 yards. And I was like, okay, well, that's different. And this is someone I trust. And I decided, well, you know what? I'll give it a shot. Now, let me tell you, I am a skeptic, a big skeptic. And I started taking this in the morning about a week ago, once in the morning, once at night. And the next morning, I got up and I put on the same pair of pants that I'd worn the day before. Yes, I don't wash my pants every day because I'm not a dirty person. And I generally leave the top button undone and I do up my belt because I'm a little bit chubby, as people might say. I did my pants up, I tucked my shirt in, and I had room in my pants. And I was like, this is not, what the heck is going on? I thought maybe it's a different pair of pants, or no, it's the same pair of pants. And then I realized I wasn't bloated.
Mhm.
I'm not fat. I get bloated lots. And I wasn't bloated. And I thought, no, it can't be from just, one day. And then I went on through the day and I wasn't bloated and my pants were comfortable. I wasn't undoing my top button in the car when I was driving, which I always do. And I thought, wow, this is pretty interesting. And I figured, well, my digestion is improving and my body's probably doing what it was supposed to do all along. And now I don't have that bloat. The next thing I noticed was now the skeptic in me says this could be because I'm happy that my pants aren't too tight or my digestion's better. But I thought, I'm driving and I thought, I don't feel stressed or anxious. I'm calm. And I'm generally, like you said, I'm generally in fight or flight mode because I'm always late for something. I'm always thinking of what I'm going to say at an event like I did today. I've always got something on the go. I'm always worried about how something's going to go. And so I'm generally a pretty high strung person. And I didn't feel like that. And then I was like, could it be that? Is that a possible thing? So I went home and I Googled it. And yeah, one of the effects of hops, specifically the matured hops extract, is reduction in anxiety. And so then I thought, well, this can't be. A couple days went by, same thing, no bloat. I'm feeling calmer. And it occurred to me that, maybe the claims are accurate. So I started sharing with more people, and now there's more people trying it. And it seems like they're having, similar results as me.
Isn't that crazy? Like people like you and like myself were the biggest skeptics. And so we go into this thing and this is not going to work at all. And then we get bombarded with like the fact that it works so quickly and so simply. And it's like, how cool is this? It's like, then you cannot shut up. You just want to share it with everybody. Like, this is so fun, right? Like this literally is doing exactly what it said it was supposed to do. And how often does that even happen? Like how many people
never.
watched, how many people watching, like go take a bunch of vitamins because somebody told you need to have X amount of vitamins in your diet. And do you really feel anything out of them? No. And I'm not going to get started in the vitamin world, but anyway, that's the way it should be. You should notice something. And that is why I'm very like vague in what people are going to notice. It's not like these miraculous woohoo, like I'm bouncing through the roof. Go drink a shot of Java or whatever, if you need to feel that kind of energy. But no, this is repairing and restoring your body into this natural state of health. It's super fun.
Well, I would describe it as just feeling normal. And I think that it's been a while since I've actually felt normal like that. Especially with lots of stress and, maybe probably some digestion issues. And I haven't treated my body very well over the years. But something occurred to me today. I'm very willing to completely write off a product that makes a claim like this. A natural product, 2 ingredients, matured bitter hop extract and purified water. I'm willing to write that off as couldn't do anything. But at the same time, my whole life, when a doctor hands me a pill and says it's going to do something, I just don't even question it. I'm like, okay, of course. He's handing me a pill. It's got my name on it and a fancy label. Must do what it said it's going to do. And I never questioned it. And then I started thinking, well, we're given all of the things we need to be healthy on this planet. We don't know about it all yet. Why do I question nature and totally believe big pharma all the time? And that was kind of a big aha moment for me, even being someone who took the stand I did during the pokey poke era we went through. So yeah, it's lots of things to think about here. And the other aha moment that I had I have a cafe and we do events, and we get a whole bunch of people there, and I let vendors come in and set up their stuff for free. And one of my rules was no MLM, no affiliate marketing stuff, because it annoyed me. That's how much I dislike it.
Wow.
And the other aha moment for me here was realizing when something like this actually works, the people who are going to be most effective selling it are people like me who have an experience with it and can share it, right? So then naturally I'm telling people and they want to try it. Well, I realized that's actually real because I'm earning money. Like I'm literally earning money by sharing something with other people that I had good results with.
Yep.
And how cool is that? And then when they have a good result, they can share it and they can earn money too. That's really my mindset has changed, I guess.
That's a good thing, Chris. I see you can teach an old dog new tricks. I'm not saying you're old.
I'm not a dog.
Just saying it's just saying. But it's interesting. Like I have said so many times in my life, I'm never going to do this. Like I said, I was never going to have a water childbirth. And my last child, I ended up having in the water. So like you just have to be very careful what you say never to, because then it's typically what ends up happening. And this in particular, like I love that you brought up, you like sharing this, and you like the results, so you want to share it. But how often do you share about that movie you just watched, or that restaurant that you went to, or how often do you share about like a line of clothing that you like to somebody? And like, there's a lot of people that talk about certain brands, but you never get paid for it. We are a walking billboard all the time, and we willingly share. And I'm not saying you have to get paid for your suggestions, but it's absolutely fun. Like when I worked at the mortgage bank, every year I got a letter from the CEO of the bank telling us that, yep, my Christmas bonus was $7 million this year. And we're like, yay, good for you. Because
good
he's
for
required
you,
to tell us
guy.
that. Yeah. So they're poking thingies. But here in this space, you can out earn anybody. Like there's no limitations to your income when it comes to this type of business. You're a 1099 employee. 1099 contractor, sorry, not an employee. 1099 contractors, that means you make your own rules and how you want your business to grow. But here's the beautiful thing. I don't have to stock it. I don't have to ship it. I don't have to worry about anything about where the product's coming from, how it's manufactured, where it's stored, where it's shipped. All I care about is I am the person that's the middleman. It's literally like Coca-Cola pays for actors and actresses and celebrities to share their product, right? So you pay for that, but the price you pay to the product. We're the middleman, so we're just taking that out. If these products were on the shelves, I think you shared last week, this product needs a story. This is exactly why it's not on the shelves. It's because it needs a story behind it. People need to know what it does and how it works. But if it's just on a shelf, it would be twice as much as it is because of all the middlemen that are involved before it hits that shelf.
Yeah, and you made a good point there. We're willing to advertise for a company that tells us to just do it and wear their brand and promote their product and get nothing for it except for a piece of clothing that lasts a few years. And we have no problem with the CEO of the company having all of the benefit from it. I've shared this with a few people, and I really do believe that sharing things like this, there is some degree of, what's the word, social capital that you have to expend, because some people don't receive the message very well, right? You have to expend a little social capital. And but I've found myself more willing to do that because I think of people that I would like to have these benefits, and I'm like, oh man, do I share this with them? What are they going to think of me? And then I'm like, screw it, I'm just going to tell them anyway, because I believe that it could actually benefit them. And I've found myself doing that. And now, listening to a Zoom meeting I was on last week, it spoke to the idea that in these types of things, it's only the people at the top that make any money. And it was explained to me that that's not the way this works. It's actually the people that do the work. They earn better. So my new friend, Terry, he actually does considerably better than some people that are way higher up on
Yeah,
the treatment he does.
yeah, he's doing better than the person that brought him in, and the person that brought him in, he's doing better than him. I'm doing better than the person that brought me in. So you can always do better. And not that I feel yucky saying that, but I mean, you can, like, you can out earn the people that bring you into the business. It's just a matter of how it works. So yes, there's
That's a
a
good
lot of
thing, though.
cliche. Yeah, they
Yeah,
say it's a
it's a good
pyramid. The
thing.
person at the top makes all the money, and that's not the case. Like, there's a lot of tops, you know what I mean? So like, it depends on, you could be the top. Like, anybody could be the top. Yeah.
And what I noticed about guys like Terry, and folks, I did a podcast with Terry originally. You can go back and watch that. It's on YouTube, it's on Facebook, all those things. If you want to get some backstory on this. But the beautiful thing here is, now that I know what this is about and I'm willing to talk about it, all of the people that wanted to try this and even try the business side of it, that signed up through me, they're bringing people to podcasts like this. We're doing the information session and sharing with people and helping them. And that's what Terry's been doing too. And that's why he's so successful, is because he's not promoting himself. He's actually promoting the people that have just come in. Like, I don't know how many thousands of people I am down on Terry's tree, but I can phone him and say, hey, Terry, can we do a podcast to share this product with some people who are interested? And he's like, yeah, no problem. When you want to do it. Like, that's way different than anything else I've seen before. It's like no one's left to dangle at the bottom, right?
Not at all. Absolutely not. And you know what you just reminded me, which I was going to tell you right when I first started talking here. This is my OCD. The date at the beginning of this was last Wednesday. The big date at the beginning of this podcast was last Wednesday.
Yes, I was so late, I forgot to change or redo the
anyway.
video.
But no, the level of support here is, and I just, I hear that all the time. It is not common. And I really feel like it's because there's a level of professionalism of the people that came here. They're not just these hypey, get in, get out, wham, bam, thank you, ma'am type of people. They're here to build longevity. They're here for the long haul, because we all want that same goal, to stay with a place that has amazing products. Like, yes, we have pHix, but the name of the company is Marketplace Global. Why? Because we have a marketplace of products. Last week I started talking about one of the products also that I really enjoy, which is our NZ Fulvic, which pairs really well with the pHix. And I know we wanted to talk somewhat about that tonight, but it's literally getting people to replace their purchasing habits. A lot of people go to the grocery store to buy certain things, or to wherever they buy their supplementation. Right here, you get it all. We have everything that your body needs right here.
And you know what I did? I was excited that I could do my pants up, which might sound really weird to some people, but it's a big deal for some of us. And then I thought, you know what? I'm going to start paying more attention to what I'm putting in my body, what's going on my clothes, stuff like that. So I'm looking, and I see the Fulvic, and that looked fantastic. So I ordered it to try it. Then I'm thinking, well, why would there be laundry soap there? And then so I look at the laundry soap and I realize, okay, well, this isn't poison like the laundry soap that I'm using right now. So maybe I'm going to try this and not poison myself with my laundry soap. And then I start thinking, well, I've realized that some of the things I'm putting on and in my body over the last few years are probably not good for me. And then I noticed that there's a mineral-based deodorant. I thought, well, maybe I'm going to stop using the store-bought stuff that's going to give me Alzheimer's, and I'm going to try.
They got aluminum in it. Yep.
It actually got me excited to replace certain things that I'm using day to day with things that are designed with my health in mind.
Right.
And that's really the key, is that in my personal life, I have noticed and become well aware that some of the things that I thought were just okay did not have my health in mind at all, not even remotely. It was profit for that company and a cheap product to manufacture. And it's quite the revelation when you realize what's going on. Right.
It absolutely is. Like, one of the things that pHix really gets talked about a lot is women's hormones, men's hormones too. I mean, it's really, really significantly changing both aspects of it. And I always point out, you brought up, the other products that you're using in your house. People don't realize anything that has fragrance in it, your air fresheners, laundry detergent, all that stuff is our hormone disruptors. Like the worst kind of hormone disruptors are in those products. And so once you start to even just eliminate that stuff, like it's amazing. Allergies, just all kinds of things that, really suppressing the immune system. That's why these people are so easily affected when the cold and flu season comes around. They're like always easy to get. They're a target. Their body's broken down. So yeah, we have the laundry detergent. We even have like a soap. It's a mineral soap. We have it. You could use it for shampoo, your skin, your hands, your body. You can even wash your car with it. Yeah, you can even wash your car with it, and it actually puts a film over the window that's like a Rain-X. So it's a mineral soap. And then we have our liquid vitamin that has 125 nutrients in it. And all of the ingredients in that liquid vitamin are grown in the highest parts of all of the world. So the highest elevation in the world. Why? Because the nutrient level in there is so much cleaner. And so that liquid vitamin, when you take it, you feel it. So I take it around lunchtime. Just to give me an extra little boost, but it has 125 vitamins and minerals, all your amino acids. It's got fatty acids in there. I'm just thinking off the top of my head, and it just gives you, so it literally has 4,100% of vitamin B12, and they're methylated and chelated or chelated, however you want to say that. And why that matters is because I recently did a whole study on how vitamin B12 has been shown to help combat the signs of an aging brain, the things that bring on the diseases like Alzheimer's and dementia. I'm not saying this to say that we can diagnose, cure, or treat any diseases. I'm just sharing with you the research that I've done, that good high doses of vitamin B12 and the right source. There's so much junk out there. Like I said, I'm not a vitamin girl. The most expensive water in your house is your stinking toilet, because people take so many vitamins and it just goes right through them. And then we have our greens. They taste like, do you remember back in the day, the Tutti Frutti gum?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it literally tastes like that. It's not cut grass. And it's full of all this alkalining foods that your body needs to help combat illness. So just them alone, the liquid vitamins, the greens, and the pHix, and then when we'll talk about the fulvic, you're getting more nutrition in your body than most people get in an entire week. 30 seconds, boom, first thing in the day, you get that in there. And you're starting to optimally fill your body full of great tools to be its best. And what better way to live life than to prevent anything from happening? Most people, what they do is they live their life and then they get really sick and then they try to fight the sickness. It's really hard. I'm sure maybe you're familiar with diesel trucks, right?
Oh yeah, they're my favorite.
Good. So what happens if you put gas in a diesel truck?
Oh, well, I may have experienced that in the last while, but
no.
It's not good.
You'll lock your engine up unless you catch it on time, which you can flush it, but you could essentially lock your engine up. And it's really hard to make that engine healthy again. That is what most human beings do, Chris, is they sit there and they put gas in their diesel engine all the time, junk food, right? And their bodies get locked up, they get really sick, and then they try to take all the things you told them to take all the time. This stuff don't work. I'm still sick. I'm in here 2-3 weeks, 5 months with a cough. Well, dude, go put diesel in your truck and put it in your body and see how great it works all the time. It's crazy to me how well people take care of their vehicles and they don't take care of their bodies.
But I love Cheese Whiz.
Oh,
it's delicious.
No, you did not. Why don't you just go take a piece of plastic, go melt it down, and do a little dash of turmeric in there, and then eat that? How's that taste?
If it tasted like Cheese Whiz, I might try it. But I'm going to answer a question here in the comments, and then I'm going to ask a question of you, Alison. Mm-hmm. So my mother-in-law asks, can we just purchase this from you, Chris? The way it works in Canada, as far as I know, I believe you have to be a member.
No, you can buy as a customer.
No, yeah. You can buy as a customer, but I can't actually sell it to you.
Correct.
You can order it for yourself as a customer, but
yes.
when we buy it, I don't know if it says on here.
It's not for resale.
Somewhere not for resale. Like Canadians can't sell this to other Canadians, but you can buy it for yourself. So you have to use the link that I provided and buy it. However, I've been encouraging even the people that come on as customers to do the things that you need to do to qualify as a rep, so that when you have some interesting positive experience with it and you start talking about it with your friends and they want to try it, well, now you can, you sign up a few people and now your stuff is paid for. And I can attest to that because that's happened for me. So that's,
yeah, you sell, you get a couple customers and your product's free. It's paid for. It's not like it's necessarily free, but I mean, it's paid for. That's a really great thing. You might not want to make a big business out of it, but then at least you get your product paid for. Or what if all of a sudden you're making a couple $100s a month and then that pays for your groceries or your gas or your diesel for your vehicle? You just never know that little extra, what it could do for you.
Yeah, exactly. And why not? What is so wrong with people trying to build something for themselves while they're promoting something that's helping people, right? Like one of the hurdles that I had with the pHix product was the amount of positive testimonials that I saw. I was like, okay, that's a lot of positive testimonials. I don't see that with anything. And then as I get into this and I start to put faces to the people that are making those comments, it's like, that's actually legit. Like people are helping themselves with specific problems.
Mm-hmm.
So why wouldn't you want to share that? And if you can earn some money while doing it, I think that's a win-win, right?
Well, absolutely. In today's day and age, I feel like there's so many people online making money. I mean, people are selling digital products. Oh my gosh. I saw this lady today that wasn't even a lady. A friend of mine shared this person's profile, or it's not even it's all AI. This account was made back in August of last year, and they made an account on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And between the three, they've surmounted almost 3 million followers between the three different, yes. And it's all AI. The person is AI. It's an 82-year-old grandma, always wearing black sunglasses. And it's like Wild Betty or something. I'm not promoting it. I'm not going to say anymore. But anyway, I was like, if that person can get brand deals with whoever's behind the camera making these AI, you can't tell they're AI unless you really watch. Then you'll notice, you'll see some like her skin. There's no way. Anyway, all that, I'm just saying it's crazy in today's day and age that everybody's out there making extra money. And there's everything in life is sales. Everything. Where does money even come from? You're selling. Like back in the day, we were exchanging, I'll give you my pelts and you give me your bread. That was what we did. For those of you who don't know what pelts are, it's when you go and you make an animal unalive and you take their skin off, right? And people needed that to make clothing. So we were always trading. It was always a sales transaction, everything. And you're always selling yourself. Everything in life is a sale. So when people look at this industry, and yeah, there's been a lot of scams out there, but when you're looking at this in a standpoint that you're serving people, the way to greatness is the service of many. And I'm not here to be great. I'm here to just help people. That's the beautiful thing about a product that I feel safe with sharing. I'm like, it's not going to hurt you. And how many things you just said, like you'll go to the doctor and take a prescription and not even think twice about it. He tells you you're supposed to take it. It doesn't matter. They probably give you a whole list of side effects. There's so many people right now taking an injection that even has a black box warning. Do you know what a black box warning is? Yeah. I didn't know. I had to ask my one friend who's a microbiologist. I'm like, what's a black box? Well, because I don't study disease. People think because I'm an herbalist, I know like every disease out there, every medication out there. I'm like, I purposely do not study disease. I don't study medicine. I study health. So there's a big difference. So for me, when this product totally came in alignment and all these other products, that were really helping to boost the body. And then we talk about this fulvic, which I know we were going to touch on. It's 70 trace minerals. Our bodies are literally just minerals. We come from the ground and then we go back into the ground. And so your body is constantly craving these minerals. And unfortunately, our food is depleted of minerals because of all of the pesticides and all the junk. And so it takes it and wipes it out. So you need an X amount of apples to get the nutrition that we used to get about 50 years ago from one apple. I didn't write it down, so I don't have it memorized, but it's a lot.
Mm-hmm.
But it's crazy. So when you give your body exactly what it needs, and then the fulvic also goes after all of the junk. your heavy metals, your pesticides, your herbicides, your parasites. And did you know that all viruses are parasites?
Didn't know.
Yeah, now you know. I educated you, gave you another one. There you go. That's why when you go to the doctor, they're like, I can't give you an antibiotic for that because it's a virus. Well, the viruses are all parasites in some way, shape, or form. And this is why your pets don't get a lot of viruses, because you're constantly deworming them.
Interesting.
We are probably one of the only sectors that don't deworm. In Canada, North America, all this area, we don't deworm. We don't talk about it. It's like a cliche. You don't already talk about worms.
What other countries do?
Yes, they do.
I can't remember if it was one of the two named places, Turks and Caicos or Trinidad and Tobago. I can't remember. Maybe it was another one of those, but it was in that area. 2017, they started a program because they had waterborne parasites, and it's a big problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
People have lots of parasites. So they tried some different drugs in the water supply. The last one they tried was ivermectin. Mm-hmm. And so in 2019, they had added ivermectin to the water in this country. Well, they didn't have any COVID. And so I read this online, and I'm reading about this at the time when I was trying to fight for my survival, right? When the government was telling me to close my restaurant because of that stuff. And I thought, well, this other country's doing this, and they there's a correlation here. Why are we not exploring this? And I was called a pants shitter for daring to say that we should be
pants shitter.
Yeah. Oh yeah. This guy's he's some inbred hillbilly from Alberta eating horse paste and shitting his pants because I was talking about ivermectin. But then I saw some comments on my Facebook today, or maybe it was yesterday, and someone was saying, as a kid, and this was an old person, I remember our parents giving us dewormer stuff. It was a normal thing. Like everybody did that, and now we don't. And I started thinking,
turpentine.
Why not?
Turpentine.
Parasites just didn't just go away.
No. Did you ever hear the turpentine story?
No.
Oh, geez. So there's a huge thing about that. So I did a deep dive in that several years ago. And there was a lady doctor who actually did a huge study on it, and she publicized it, and she got deported from the United States, kicked out because of you're going to kill people. So I'm not going to go into that, but look it up, Google it, go to YouTube. You'll be very pleasantly surprised the amount of parasites that come out of your body. But back in the day, I want to say, gosh, in the 40s, it stopped. But all the old grandmas will tell you, yeah, you just take turpentine. You eat a couple sugar cubes, take a tablespoon of turpentine, and you'll be seeing stuff when you go to the bathroom.
Well,
so
turpentine
sugar attracts.
Is it pine? Is it pine?
Yes, it's a resin. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has to be very specific resin off of a tree. It's not the fake paint thinning. You don't want to use just paint thinner. You're like, yeah, we're not talking about that. I'm not telling you to go do this, but just go look it up and you can educate yourself on that yourself. But I'm just saying that the sugar attracted the parasites, and then it all went to the sugar, and then the turpentine came and flushed them out. So, wow. So it's crazy. So the fulvic is not a parasite cleanse. I want to go back to that because I don't want people to get ill taught on this. It attaches itself to partials of the parasites, and it will flush through. A true deworming protocol, you can look up some herbal stuff, and find that. And it's typically done at the full moon. I mean, we can go at all that, but yes, you should follow some type of that because that's how your body stays at an optimal level. But what the fulvic does is it makes your cells permeable. And what that means is it makes it able to absorb nutrition. Spoonful of sugar makes medicine go down.
I read that in Mary Poppins' singing voice.
You want me to sing to you? I'll sing to you.
Yeah,
a spoonful of sugar makes the medicine go down.
That's the one. Yeah, exactly.
Anyway, yes, they gave it to everyone in the house 2 times a year. Absolutely right. You could do it so good in the turpentine because it was disgusting, or you do one and then the other. Yep. So there you go.
So the whole point of these tangents that we're getting on, folks, is we're just talking about how, we've been, I don't know what the word is. We've been conditioned to believe a certain narrative that our only solutions are in the form of a pill that a pharmaceutical company manufactures, and then our tax dollars or our wallets pay for it and make someone rich. That's the only way we're going to be healthy. That's how we've been conditioned, to the point where we're willing to completely discount a natural remedy that people are having success with, while at the same time blindly accepting that the things that are from that pill bottle are going to benefit us and make us healthy.
Mhm.
Well, I've learned that health is not anything to do with the machine that gleans money from our tax trough. That is not about health. That's about big business. So now when I find things like this that contribute to our overall health and wellness or have the potential to, I want to share it. And I think it's important. I think that if
Mhm.
more people would just kind of pay attention to this stuff and stop discounting it as snake oil right off the bat, do your research, of course. Maybe we could break down some of that barrier that's been created
Right.
around us, and it's a big barrier. My question that I was going to ask, I almost forgot. There's MPG has all these interesting products. They seem great. I'm excited to try them. Why is it that only that the one that's really talked about is pHix? Like, no one really
'Cause
talks
it's
about any of the other stuff till after. It's just
yeah,
pHix.
absolutely. Because it's so unique. You cannot find it anywhere else. You don't have to compare it to Tom, Dick, or Harry. It's something that nobody's going to be able to duplicate. It's that powerful. It's safe for everybody. There's so many levels to share something that you can't get anywhere else. Like, and I get that people, like we talked about the vitamins, the laundry soap and all the other soaps. Like it'll be just comparing mine to yours. There's no comparison with pHix at all. And that's why for us, when you share an opportunity, if I sat here and talked about all these products all the time, you'd be like, that sounded great, and you'd walk away. But if I share the story with one product, I'm going to get you into the door to show them the store.
Yeah. Well, it worked on me.
And then that store becomes your store. You're going to reverse your purchasing if you are somebody who cares about your health and you're wanting to upgrade your household with your laundry soap and your mineral soap and your deodorant and your lotion. We got hand lotion. And by the way, we got silver. If anyone who suffers from mosquito bites, our silver gel, you put it on and like the next day, everything's better and gone.
Oh, I wondered what that was for.
Yeah. Or you could style your hair with it. Somebody told me, like I read that you could put it in your hair and it makes it a nice gel. And it's
Huh.
all natural minerals, it's super safe for you. So there's so many components to what we all have, but the reason we lead with pHix is because it's very significant and very different. And it's the products that's going to do more for your body with just one product. And these are all help to support it.
Do you mind can you go through the mechanism of action with pHix one more time for the people that missed it or maybe came in late?
Yeah. All of it?
Sure. It's not
Okay.
that long. Yeah.
Okay, I'll summarize it for you. So basically, what pHix is it's a matured hops extract. And so a matured hops extract 3. And the 3 stands for 3 bitter acids, your beta, your alpha, and your gamma. And this particular product was discovered in 1953, 70 years ago. And back then it cost over $1 million a gallon. And so nobody purchased it, but it sat there so doctors could research it. Anybody could look at it and figure out what this is doing. And what they discovered is it burns visceral fat for 9.5 hours. So don't listen at me and think that this has everything to do with weight loss. It has everything to do with your health. Look up visceral fat and find out what it is. I will tell you that it stores all of your toxins. So if you want to understand how the human body works, when you go to the doctor, you share your symptoms. And where are your symptoms coming from? Well, the root of all illness comes from inflammation. Where does inflammation come from? Toxins. And where do toxins come from? The air you breathe, the food you eat, and the water you drink. And then it gets stored in your visceral fat. Yes, visceral fat hangs out around your organs, under the skin. And the more toxins you have, the more of that stuff that gets stored in there. And so when I saw this, I was like, this is root cause healing. We're helping people to get to the root cause of what's causing their illness. So when they go to the doctor, share their symptoms, we're going to go back to this. So this is helping people get to whatever is bothering them. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. The second part of this is that these 3 bitter acids, when you place them in a liquid of your choice, hot or cold, you drink it, they activate the bitter receptors in the back of the tongue and all the way down the digestive system. And that activates the largest cranial nerve in your body called the vagus nerve. And that vagus nerve is responsible for activating and supporting all 1,100 systems in your body. Yes, you got that many. One very particular one we talk about is the parasympathetic system. Because when your body is in a parasympathetic state, it's in a state of rest and digest. It's out of that fright and flight. You feel calm, you feel focused, you have energy, your digestion is working better. But this is not just the parasympathetic state. This is all 1100 systems. So we're talking about supporting, I didn't share this earlier, but we're starting to talk about our hormones by supporting the thyroid, the pituitary, the pineal gland. These are all glands that are secreting different hormones throughout the body. This is why when people go on this, they don't feel hungry anymore. It turns off the food noise. Why? Because it helps us support the hormones like CCK and the ghrelin and the leptin and the GLP-1 and the GIP. All of these hormones get supported and are being secreted properly. So then we go into other hormones, your estrogen, your testosterone, and your progesterone. So that's why a lot of people that go on this, Chris, their libido goes up. We've had so many results of that. We've got results of people who go to the gym and they work out and that they're increasing their muscle mass is increasing by 10, 20 pounds. We have so many people that work out and finding their muscle is growing quicker than it ever did before and more efficiently. And so it's because the body is in this state called homeostasis, balance. All of this being done is balance. And it's so hard for people to wrap their heads around. All they want to do is ask me what they've been conditioned, like you say, to ask me. Is it going to help me with XYZ illness? What if I have this issue? What if I have that issue? What if I'm on this medication? Just listen to the words that I say. It doesn't matter what you're dealing with. Your body is expressing different symptoms to just two things, toxins and inflammation. And so when you go to the doctor, you share your symptoms from those issues. They tell you you have XYZ issue. Yes, through blood work, all the stuff, right? But those are all triggers and markers because of toxins and inflammation. And so it doesn't matter to me what illness you have. It doesn't matter to me what medication you're on. I'm still going to tell you the same thing. And I can't diagnose, treat, or cure any diseases, but what I can tell you is this product is going to go to the root cause of what's causing your illness. And more than likely, you're going to feel or notice something. And eventually, it's going to help you get over whatever you're dealing with. That's in a nutshell.
And that's not to say that that's the only thing you need. I mean, there's of course, there's things your body needs to support the work that it's supposed to be doing, right? Your nutrition, your pillars of health, rest, relaxation, exercise, and nutrition. Those things are super important. I was at a lobbying dinner with the Premier of Alberta. This is a couple years ago. And one of the lobbyists, they buy tickets to this dinner and then they get 2 minutes to lobby the Premier from their table. So she stands up and she says, I'm with this company and we deal with health. And we have a proposal for the government that would cut, I think she said, $5 or $6 billion of health budget by dealing with mental health issues through using the 4 pillars of health. So what she had done in her company, and this was all papered and peer reviewed, she would have patients, like mostly kids with autism, behavioral issues, ADHD, those types of things. And they would focus on the 4 pillars: rest, relaxation, nutrition, and exercise. And she estimated that by focusing on wellness, simply wellness, giving your body the tools that your body needs to be healthy, they could shave something like $5 or $6 billion off of what we're paying for healthcare in Alberta. And it occurred to me, probably most people in the pharmaceutical side or the medical side don't want that. They want the patients. They want the patients to give a pill to. They want to do counseling sessions. They want to do all these things. And it's very rare that in any type of official narrative from, government or bureaucracy that we hear anything about wellness and those 4 pillars. That should be a red flag for every single person in this, watching this webinar. We're not talking about selling something that's going to treat a symptom. What this is something that's helping your body to do what it's naturally made to do properly so you can deal with the things. That's the difference. And that's what this is selling. Yeah. Did I get it right?
Absolutely. You hit the nail right on the head, my friend.
Good, because I'm pretty new and I'm still learning, but it is fun to have people come with me on this journey. There's a lot to learn. Speaking of learning, we talked lots about pHix. We've talked about body stuff. People in the comments have asked me what kind of testimonials have I heard from people who I know. Just off the top of my head, I have heard one of my good friends. he sleeps properly now. He doesn't get up in the middle of the night and go to the bathroom a couple times and be restless. Another friend of mine, he has mentioned how he is regular now, and that was an issue for him before. Another person I know, she had going through menopause, hot flashes, all sorts of terrible things. Well, I mean, uncomfortable things, terrible if you have to go through it. And she doesn't go through that anymore. Another person was on anti-anxiety meds for, I don't know, 2 decades or something like that, and gradually weaned off them and now doesn't take them. Like, I've heard all sorts of different things that people are attributing to taking control of their wellness, just their wellness, making their body, helping their body do what it's supposed to do. Those are the things that I've heard. And for me personally, I don't have bloating like I used to have. I sleep like a rock all the way through the night, and I've got sleep apnea. So sometimes that doesn't really, that wouldn't occur for me before. And whether it's because I'm not bloated or not, I feel calmer than I usually am. I'm a high-strung person, very fast-paced life. And for the first time in like 3 years, I turned the radio on when I was driving. I don't listen to the radio when I'm driving, believe it or not. I don't listen to music when I'm driving because there's so much going on in my head. I cannot focus on anything else. And the radio or the music interrupts my thoughts. And then I get irritated. So I don't have the radio on. But I was calm, and I was like, I turned the radio on and I was enjoying my drive. Interesting thing. And it could be maybe I just
really
ate properly that day.
I love that for you.
Well, yeah. That's and I'll keep talking about my experiences. Maybe something will change. Maybe it was something else. Who knows? But this is my experience so far, and I'm certainly glad that George bugged me to try it. Do you want to get on to the fulvic?
Well, I did.
We already kind of talked about that.
We did. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then we're almost an hour, which puts us after 9, which means that you're probably 11. You're a little ahead of us.
Mm-hmm.
There was some questions in the comments. I'm going to go through after, folks, and I'm going to answer the questions as best I can in the interest of letting Alison get some sleep. You got a busy few days ahead of you. I think you're doing some traveling or something, hey?
Yes, we're going to go to Costa Rica on Thursday for a mastermind, so that'll be fun.
Nice. Awesome. Right on. I have a trip coming up in February that I'm really excited about, but I'm not going to tell anyone where I'm going yet. I'll just do a video from there, and then they can guess where I'm at.
I didn't tell anybody yet either, except for, no, I mean, some close people, but I haven't announced it anywhere yet either. I'll be doing the same thing.
Yep. Cool. Okay. Well, thanks for joining us, folks. If you have any other questions, get them in the comments section. I did post the link. So if you're interested to try this, click on the link, go through the process. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of me via email, or those of you that have my phone number, you can text me. Text is always the best, and I'll help you through this process. If you're one of those people that is interested in building a little extra income, and that's something that excites you, I'm more than willing to help you with that as well. And I know Alison will, and Terry will, and George and Nikki and everybody, because when we build, or when you build, it helps us build, and it's awesome. And I'm telling you, this isn't like other things that you hear on the internet. Oh, you're going to make a bunch of money quick. It's, if you want to put in some work and make the effort, you're going to be rewarded for it. That's the reality. And I'm more than happy to help you with that. Even as a network marketing hating guy of just 4 months ago. So that should tell you something. You won't be disappointed.
I love that. I think that's amazing. I don't think anyone would doubt you for a second that you're not really genuine about what this product is doing. And I think that's where people need to understand, when you have a heart for helping other people and you find something that's genuinely helping other people, it's easy to share. I'm not saying anything else about it is easy, but it is easy to share. Yeah.
And those of you that know me, you know that I don't talk about things that I don't believe, and I wear my heart on my sleeve. So what you see is what you get. Yeah. And on that note, Alison, thank you very much for your time. We appreciate it.
Absolutely. My pleasure.
And I'll probably chat with you maybe next week sometime. Enjoy your trip.
All right. Thank you so much, everybody.
Thanks. Good night.
Good night.
There you go, folks. For those of you that are asking, I did post the link in the comments. It looks just like this. And I mean it when I say it. I really came into this skeptical, almost wanting to try this so that I could just debunk it and write it off and get on with my life. That didn't happen. It went the other way. I'm excited about it. It works for me, and I don't see why it wouldn't work for you. Like I said, I was hooked when I saw one of my very trusted friends, who happens to be an immunologist and a researcher, talk about the mechanism of action behind the matured bitter hop acid and the vagus nerve and all those things. It wasn't something that I just came up with. I even took the time and did the research myself and ended up writing an article about it, trying to find flaws in it or disprove it. I couldn't. And here we are. I'm trying it. I love it. I'm actually making some money, and you can too. If it's not for you, that's totally fine. You can just try the product and see what kind of results you have. But like I said, if you want to build something, this is a really good product. And if you share it, people will try it and you will make a little bit of money. So why not? We could all use a little more cash these days. Thanks for watching. I'm going to get off of the podcast, and then I'm going to go back through the comments, try and respond to everybody. Get your questions in there. Don't forget the question marks. And I will see you. What is today? Today is Tuesday. I will see you Thursday evening for a webinar on all things Alberta independence. If you have a question, join me Thursday night, 8 p.m. right here, YouTube, Facebook, X, all the places, and you can ask me questions and I'll answer. And I'm going to answer not as a lawyer, not as a constitutional expert, not as a politician. I'm going to answer as an average, everyday Albertan who cares about the future of his province and the future for his kids. So join me for that. You won't be disappointed, and that will give you, hopefully, the answers you need to go out and talk about this with your friends and neighbors as well. Just like these podcasts on this specific product will give you the talking points that you need to share these experiences and help other people take control of their wellness, which, I mean, that is arguably much more important than wealth. So good night, folks. See you on the next one. Meow. Thanks for bugging me about this, George. I'm glad you did.